Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to a video that came out of Pascal Siakam. Now, me and Ryker and I have been huge on Pascal Siakam this past season, and we think he could be a really good player. And Ryker, this video that we have on the screen showing now, he's amped up his skills this summer.
Yeah, it certainly seems like his handle is improved. He's working on a pull-up jumper. We said that really his effort, his length, his athleticism, and his ability to run the floor in transition were things that made us such fans of him, right? Because those are little intangible skills that separates, a lazy star from somebody who has the ability to become a better player, right? So the reason that we're so high is we said, add a three-point shot to this game, and he becomes the upper echelon of players. Right, so it's difficult to say when he's playing against what could be scrubs. I don't know. We've seen James Harden there in the mix and Chris Copeland, but it's difficult to say against whoever he's playing that this will translate well into the NBA. But certainly, he's a guy that we know is developing his game. He's a guy that's hungry to become a better player, and it looks like he probably will. We will see a Pascal that's improved on the team.
Yeah. No, you mentioned it. Just his intensity, his effort on the floor. He's a good finisher on the rim. His athleticism is paralleled with top guys in the NBA. He's got that NBA superstar athleticism. The thing about Siakam is he's a bit too small to play the four, like skinny and stuff, unless you obviously want to play super small ball. But he didn't have the handle or the jump shooting to be a three. But the handle has gotten a lot better last season, and in this video it looks like it's very amped up, and the pull-up jumper is something that's improved. So. What do you see Pascal's game being? I know he's smaller than Draymond Green, but there's comparisons to him and Draymond. Just being able to affect the game all over different places.
What position did you just say he was undersized for? For the 4?
For the 4 and 5, he's not really built like a big man. He's not undersized
for the 4. He's 6'9".
For
230.
He's small though.
He's not that small.
Thick.
Dude, Giannis. He probably weighs around the same as Giannis. He looks like he has a similar build in terms of how muscular he is. But
he's not going to bully people down, though.
He won't bully people, but I think he can defend the position. He's okay. You're saying he's undersized as a 4.
Yeah, as a power guy. As a power. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that's not his game. We're never going to put him on the block.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying the issues with Siakam before.
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily an issue because you don't put Draymond Green. If that's the comparison you're making, you don't have Draymond Green down on the block. I mean, sometimes you do, but he becomes more of like a passer, and that's in the offensive scheme that they have, is they just
the issue with Siakam was before he couldn't dribble, or he kind of played like a big man's game with undersized for down low player. So now that he's got a handle and all that, he can play that Giannis type of playing
now that
style.
He may have a handle. We can't say that he definitely does, because he's obviously playing scrimmages where he's not being guarded by actual NBA players.
Yeah. Well, it's improved last season. It's something that me and you have noticed, throughout last season. And, it is very encouraging to see it good, even if it isn't against NBA level competition.
No, I mean, certainly he will come out improved. There was one comment that made, this is probably where the video is drawn from. It's like, oh, he's making a bid to be an all-star. That's obviously ridiculous. He's not going to be on that tier, especially a guy that was only averaging, 7 points last season, bench player. But I am curious what your take is, though. What will his role be? So let's assume that he's not packaged up and sent over to San Antonio. It doesn't seem like he was really included in the major rumors for what that package would be. I'm hearing a lot of DeMar, Yak, OG, future. So let's just say that Siakam stays on the roster. What will he be? Will he be shifted
roster
into
stays the same?
Exactly. Yeah. Will he be shifted into the starting lineup?
I'd love to see Siakam in the starting lineup because he'd take Serge Ibaka's position. That's the logical place that he'd be filling. So I think if we put Siakam in the starting lineup, not only will it help Serge, because I think Serge can be a lot more better utilized against bench big men. And you see a lot of these, guys as they progress into their careers, these big guys like David West and those types of players, they start to dominate, bench units because they can't do it for a full 36 minutes in the starting unit. So I think Siakam could, especially if he gets that jump shot improved, because you mentioned it, Siakam with a jump shot is an upper echelon NBA player.
Yeah.
So I think if that, if the jump shot increases from 20% around that level, which it was last season, increases maybe to low 30s, even high 20s, I think you have to start Siakam over Serge.
Yeah, high 20s is still horrible.
Yep.
That's still, you would not want him shooting.
But it's improved.
Game.
It's improved.
Yeah, it's improved, but that's still an atrocious stat line if you have somebody that's sucking up.
Yeah, but you can't not guard him if he's shooting that.
Yeah, but the issue is, okay, so what's the style of offense going to be under the Nick Nurse scheme? Isn't he a run and gun 3-point shooting style coach?
Yeah. Well, Siakam fits perfectly with the run and gun. And if he can just be respectable from three, because we have Lowry, obviously probably the best 3-point shooter, high volume 3-point shooter in Raptors history. DeMar hopefully will continue to improve. OG's a 3-and-D type of player. Jonas, the next Steph Curry, he's he's looking good. So if Siakam is just respectable, I think he fits perfect in a Nick Nurse offense.
I think he's better. Yeah, he's definitely better, because what we saw a lot from Serge Ibaka when we had any sort of back-to-back game or any games that were close together, that he would tire out really easily as well. So I don't know. I think it would be a better fit to have Siakam pushed up. But that's sort of the theme with all the bench players. I would like to honestly see a bigger role for Fred, a bigger role for DeLon. These guys will be the future of the Raptors team. So I don't know. If we do have the exact same roster spot, if Lowry stays, if DeRozan stays, I think it'll be tough to give those bench guys as much minutes as they deserve. And I would like to see, like I said, a tighter roster. I don't want to see a 10-man rotation. I don't want to see a 12-man rotation. That's good for the regular season, but you're not building up a playoff-style basketball team, right? You need to play a tight lineup that understands their minutes so that there's no weird transition when you get to the playoffs, because that's what I think ruined us, is that players were getting less minutes than they were used to or more minutes than they were used to, and it just threw everyone off. So I think, Siakam in the starting lineup and just severely reduce Serge's minutes, that would be the best thing. Because then we're taking away crazy Serge, who would just shoot terrible shots. He would live outside the 3-point line. He would be horribly tired one game and inspired the next. Like, he's just so inconsistent. He was a frustrating player. I think that would be the best thing.
Yeah, I love the point you bring up on Serge Ibaka, because he's a talented player, especially if you look back at his career with OKC and stuff. He can definitely play. It's just his inconsistency and stuff kills the Raptors in certain games. And we saw it in the playoffs. First game of the playoffs, Serge Ibaka was nasty. He absolutely tore up the Washington Wizards. And then just the intensity, after game, you just saw him get worse and worse and worse. So I think Serge Ibaka in a bench role could be a very valuable player. I know he's getting paid $20 million odd, and it sucks to be paying that much money for a bench guy. And we saw it, but I think that's the smart move for the Raptors, because I think if you lessen Serge's role, he can still be a productive player. Just, not a starter caliber, not a third option kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. And IQ will be the one thing, but if you have an entire regular season and you have an Eastern Conference without LeBron James, it's the most ideal time to shift guys that are starting to become good players, right? So I think if you're talking to maybe a person that doesn't watch the Raptors that much, and you just give them the Siakam stat line, you're crazy. They'll say you're crazy to say that he should be in the starting lineup, but it makes sense. And this would be the season that it's, you have probably the first 20, 30 games that you're able to do something crazy with the roster, have new guys come up. I don't think it would even take that long for, Siakam to get used to a starting role, but even say you had a dip in productivity, right, and you didn't have the best start that the Raptors would like to get off to, that they're kind of used to getting off to, I think they'd have time to bounce back with the young guys.
And I think we're going to see it. Nick Nurse has said that he wants to experiment with the roster and not play one single lineup the whole season. He wants to see what's going to work best for the playoffs. So you mentioned it. We might see some lineups that just suck. That just won't work at the beginning of the season, middle of the season. But I think Siakam, given time, given experience with the starters, with this lineup, I think that has the best potential for a lineup.
Yeah. Now, I'm expecting a lot of resistance from people in the comment section. We seem to be more high on Siakam than anybody else, but I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to think about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Does this video have you excited to see him in the upcoming season? It has us excited.
Yep. Most definitely. As Riker said, let us know what you guys think. Siakam, given the time, given the starting power, how good can he become next season? How strong do you think he is? Let us know in the comment section below. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, all that cool stuff. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.